Welcome to WeekendHandyman.com. We keep you up to date on the latest products and tips to improve your home and make your honey-do list easier. Here's your host, John Young.
On today's Product Spotlight show, a generator to run the RV, the garden hose you've always wanted, a quick way to hang those pictures on the wall, and then what's new in the office this week? A beverage cooler to keep everything cold. This is John Young with the Weekend Handyman, and this is our weekly Product Spotlight show. Our first product tonight is from Briggs Stratton. We're looking at the P3000 PowerSmart series of their inverter generators. This is a little 3,000 watt inverter that's going to be able to power pretty much most RVs out there. If you've got a smaller air conditioner, this can actually run that small air conditioner. This unit features 2,600 of running watts, meaning that as it's running, that's its kind of consistent level that it's going to produce. It can peak out to 3,000 watts, but in the real world, it's going to be able to put out about a little over 20 amps of electricity for purposes in the RV or whatever you're using it for. Now this is an inverter, so that means it's clean power that can run your electronics, your TVs, your computers, anything that's sensitive when it comes to electronics can be run by an inverter. And being from the PowerSmart series, this is a very quiet unit also. It's giving you clean power, it's giving you quiet power, and it's giving you a lot of power. Now a big inverter like this isn't exactly cheap. They're mapping out at around $1,200 to $1,300 online. You can find these at different spots. But for clean power, for a lot of power, and something that you're going to be able to use from campground to home to the backyard, this is a great option. You can find out more information about the P3000 PowerSmart inverter at briggsstratton.com. Next, we're going to be looking at not one, but two garden hoses from the Scotts Miracle Gro company. Our first hose we're looking at is the Max Flex hose. Now what's really cool about these hoses is that they're designing these a little bit differently, so now they have this thing called lay flat technology, and they're not going to kink or be as prone to kinking as some of the older hoses that we use. You'll be able to stretch the hose out, it will lay flat, it'll look good, and it will be able to function pretty much right out of the uncoil. The new hoses are also a lot lighter than some of the older hoses. The Max Flex is 30% lighter than similar hoses. Not only is it lighter, but it's super strong. It has a burst pressure rating of 500 psi. If the Scotts Max Flex is a little bit too big for your application, they've got an option for you. You're looking at the MiracleGro Ultralight hose. This is a little bit of a step down from the Max Flex, but it's still bringing some of the same technology of the anti-kink, the lay flat technology. A lot of the same technology is there, it's just not quite as heavy duty. Now both of these hoses are made by the Swan Company. You can find out more information about these hoses at swanhose.com. One of the things that's kind of a pet peeve of mine is pictures on the wall that aren't hanging level. Well, the folks at Hangomatic have got a solution for me and all of those of you out there who are like me. The Hangomatic is a system where you can go to the back of the picture where you have the two little brackets, and you can adjust the Hangomatic to the width of those two brackets. Then you take that adjustment, you go to your wall, and you have a level in the middle. You can get your points exactly level, and then you can dimple the wall just a little bit. So that way you know where to put your two nails. Once your nails are in, you can go hang your picture, and it will be level each and every time. The Hangomatic is one of those things that a homeowner doesn't know what they need until you're in the midst of hanging a picture. You can find out more information about the Hangomatic and even buy it online at hangomatic.com. Is something from a company called Double Cooler. This is a cooler inside a cooler. Well, maybe not quite like that, but it's very, very close. It's a two-spigot system, as you can see right there, but I'm going to open it up the top here so you can take a look at that. It has an inner chamber and an outer chamber. And we'll tip that a little bit so you can take a look down in there. The inner chamber is where you would put ice and water. You'd have like an ice water mix in the middle, and the outer is where you'd put something like Gatorade. We actually used this weekend, and we put a punch in there. And what happens is one of the spigots is from the outer area, and one is the inside area for draining or dispensing of the ice water and punch. And then, of course, you've got your two little spigots right down here in front. And it works really well because you put the ice water in the middle, and that keeps that outer area, the punch on the outside, cold for, well, it was up and running for close to 7 hours at the graduation party, and there was still ice in the ice water in the middle chamber. So it worked really well. I ended up doing one little addition to it, though, and I'll put the picture up here so you can check this out. We had a lot of little kids at this event, and of course they wanted to come over and run the spigots themselves, and they weren't sure which one was punch and which one was water, so I added a couple of name tags. But this is the double cooler. This is new in the office this week. We used it this weekend, and it's a large unit. This is a 7-gallon, 2 gallons of water, and 5 gallons of punch around the outside. Very big unit, but if you're looking for something that's going to keep your beverages cold all day long, or most of the day because, you want to keep it cold on a hot day, this is a great option. You can check this out in the links down in the description below. Well, that wraps up our show for tonight. If you've got a product out there that you would like to have us take a look at on our show, send an email to john@weekendhandyman.com and we'll get it up in one of our upcoming shows. If you've got a product you'd like us to go and actually do some hands-on things with and maybe have it as our spotlight item of the week that's new in the office, get a hold of me via email and we'll make arrangements to get that on our show. We'd like to thank you for watching tonight. If you liked the video, please click like down below. If you have any questions or comments, please put those in the comments area right down below this video. We really appreciate all the feedback that you've been giving us on the show. This is John Young with the Weekend Handyman with our Product Spotlight Show.
For more tips and how-to videos, go to weekendhandyman.com.